Turd for Turd podcast, episode 227. Lamar, we did the Monster Mash.
Whoa, chill out. We don't want a copyright strike, Joe. What's wrong with you?
That's true.
Yes, we did. We combined all of the, like the old scary horror characters into one movie. Asylum took a shot at it because Universal failed. Remember that?
Yeah.
Dear God. Yeah.
In our first category, what did you think of the story, Lamar?
Okay, so the story is Dr.Frankstein. He's already made his monster. He is going after all of these legends. He's going after Dracula, Wolfman, Invisble Man, and Ramses of the Mummy. And he uses, I guess, Dracula's daughter to bait all of them. Well, not really bait them. It's a weird thing.
He's dying, essentially, so he needs their DNA or body parts to create a new body to pass his conscience.
Right, even though he's made a new person with Frankenstein.
Yeah. What did you think?
I think it's a good idea, and we'll talk about, like, the gimmick, but it got a little repetitive to me. Because it was almost like all he did was like, Frankenstein, go get the heart from Ramses. Frankenstein, go get something from the Wolfman.
Yeah.
Frankenstein, go to the Invisible. It was like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah. They've almost could have started the movie where all that was done already.
Yes.
Because the interesting part about it is the fact that they're teaming up. I like this concept.
Yes.
And I did like parts of the movie. I thought there was some humor that was pretty good. And it was fun seeing them team up and everything. And the actors did a really good job. This reminds me of like some kind of like after school movie I would have seen like back in the day. Like, you know?
Yes.
I give it a half point.
Agreed. Half point. Good idea. Not that great in execution.
Yeah. However, we move on to the next category, which is the characters.
Well, I mean, you know, we already talked about, Frankenstein, who is played by Michael Madsen.
That's the best. The fact that they picked him is my favorite thing.
He as a trained actor, Joe, he did very well at standing up and sitting down.
Well, also the fact that he is Dr. Frankenstein and it's still just Michael Madsen with his gruffy voice and his... And he's just like, hey, Frankenstein, go get and it's just like, okay, he's not even trying. But that was actually a good element of the movie for me.
It is kind of better because he doesn't really get into any character. Now, the rest of the people did.
They did.
They got into character.
Yeah.
I'll give it. I did like Dracula.
He was very good.
We have the Wolfman. He was cool.
Yeah.
Invisible Man was like the comedic relief.
He was fun.
Now the Mummy, it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, well, he was not special, but I don't know. Would you call him the straight man to the Invisible Man though?
I guess so, but what does he do?
Yeah, nothing really. You don't really need a mummy. Like they all have a power except for the mummy, right?
Yes. So,
What are you giving it for characters?
I'll be nice and I'll give it a 1. I think the performances were good.
Yeah, I agree. 1 point. The performance was good. And like I said, Michael Madsen trying but not trying.
Yeah. The check cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our next category is the monsters. The use of the monsters and their legacy and everything. What do we think of this?
You know who really let me down, though? This Frankenstein.
Well... How so?
He just went to people, and that's it. Like, he didn't really have anything. Like, or maybe I'm expecting too much from Frankenstein. But, I don't know.
But in this movie, they made him kind of innocent. Like, he didn't really want to do the things that the doctor was making him do, right?
Father! that was half of his dialogue, just saying father
and getting belittled by Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think the Wolfman lived up to being a good Wolfman, and the Invisible Man was a good, comparing them to the legacy of these characters?
I'll give him Dracula.
He was good.
I'll give him Wolfman.
He was a good Wolfman.
He was a good Wolfman. Invisible Man.
See, I liked him as an Invisible
I did
Man.
like him, but I think the Invisible Man lore is that he's kind of crazy, so that kind
Yeah.
of fits into it. So yeah.
Yeah, Dracula was great. I liked the Wolfman enough. I like the Invisible Man a lot. The Mummy is just a mummy, but the Mummy is always just a mummy for me. Like, there's nothing special about that character to me. And
Yeah.
Frankenstein, I was okay with what they did with him. So I'm gonna give it 1 point for this.
I'm giving him a half.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, our next category is a very special one: the special effects.
It comes down to, are they so bad it's good, or are they just bad?
It's a tale of two effects. Because there was some practical stuff that I was like, okay, I'm cool with this. It's kind of low rent, but I'm cool with it. Like the werewolf makeup was kind of decent. There was a kind of cool thing where they had to talk to like a corpse, I think was practical. That was kind of cool. But then it made it to the end of the movie, Lamar, and there was the big reveal of the creature, which was CGI and not good.
It was wow.
But was it so bad? It was good.
I would have liked this more if they would have put somebody in a goofy,
Yeah,
big werewolf suit. That would have been great.
I agree. I thought that like get a werewolf suit and maybe add some bat wings to it or something.
Yes.
Or even in my mind, like when watching it, I was like, I think I would have liked some kind of like stop motion or something even better than this. Because the rest of it was very kind of like 90s and kind of it had a charm to it that I enjoyed.
Yes.
The set pieces and all that was good. Like it had a charm, and then that kind of to me ruined it.
I agree. Yes.
What are you giving it?
I'll give him half a point.
I agree. I'm gonna give it a half point. Well, our last category is the overall gimmick of this. Do we want to see like another one, like the team up of all these monsters together?
They have to go like silly or something like that. I don't know who they would hunt down, but it would have to be something, because I think they have the actors who played these roles. They have something there where they can all work together and stuff like that.
Yeah. This almost come off to you more like a full moon feature than an Asylum film?
Yes.
It was a little more like melodramatic than it was wild and goofy crazy, like over the top, like an Asylum film, right? Yeah, I would actually want to see this again, like a different, like them teaming up for another purpose. I'm going to give it 1 point.
I'm going to give it a half point.
Half? Okay.
Half. I'm going to give it a half point because they didn't go goofy enough in this one.
Not enough to lure you in.
No.
What if they go back in time, Lamar, to before Dracula becomes Dracula? And see, like in the future, something happens, and he doesn't have his powers anymore. And they're like, we got to team up, and we got to save Dracula, but he doesn't have his powers. So all the creatures, the monsters, go back in time so that he becomes a vampire in the past, which makes him Dracula in the present.
I thought you were going to do a time travel where they go in the future.
The future hasn't happened yet, Lamar.
Well, I know the future hasn't happened. Don't do that. You know how wonky time travel is. But, okay, so they go back in time to make sure that Dracula gets his powers.
Yeah.
Are they tracking somebody down that's going to try to stop Dracula from being Dracula?
Yeah, that's why he's not Dracula in the present, because someone hindered it in the past. So now they have to go back and make it right. Would you watch that?
I'd watch it. Okay. I'd watch it. Okay, you got me. You hooked me. Okay, fine.
All right. Well, Lamar, we've tallied the score, and this movie gets a 3.5 out of 5.
It needs to be a little bit more goofy.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And then it'll be like, like a 4 or a 5.
Yeah.
That damn wolf at the end, I was like, come on.
Yeah, that was terrible. Because for me, it was enjoyable enough, except for that.
Yeah.
So, all right, does that wrap it up then, Lamar?
Does.
All right. Peace.
Deuces.
Monster mash. When I say that, you're supposed to go, he did the mash.
Didn't I say?
Well, this is the end of the episode, so.
So we don't need them problems. Who owns that? Universal?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Fuck
we
him.
don't want no.